What's going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to go over all of the new rogue runes in Season of Discovery Phase 4. We're going to take a look at their new runes, which are going to be the cloak and ring runes that everyone got, and we're going to also take a look at the tier set bonuses. Now, for rogues, we've gotten two different sets of the tier. We have a tanking and DPS set. So without further ado, let's dive in and take a look at these runes. All right, so here we are in Stormwind. We'll bring up the interface. We're going to mount up, and let's just take a look really quick at our new runes, right? So starting with the ring runes, these are going to be the same pretty much for all melee. So we have sword specialization, which will give us 5 increased skill to our swords, mace specialization with 5 increased skill to maces, dagger, which is going to give us 5 increased skill to daggers, fist weapon, again 5 skill to fist weapon, ranged weapon, which gives us 5 to guns, crossbows, bows, and throwing weapons. And then we have nature specialization to give us 6% hit with nature spells, which is going to help us if we're trying to hit that hit cap for poisons. Now, for the new runes that we got on our cloak right now, this is the only runes that we know of so far in this phase. I'm sure later on maybe we'll get some runes for shoulder and maybe neck. But so far we've gotten 3 pretty cool runes for our cloak. We have Blunderbuss. Engrave your cloak with the Blunderbuss rune. This rune will fire a musket blast at up to 4 enemies in a cone in front of you for 1157 to 1546 physical damage. We also have Crimson Tempest, which is a finishing move that slashes all enemies within 8 yards, causing victims to bleed over time. Lasts longer and deals more damage per combo point. So for 1 point, we do 238 damage over 4 seconds. 2 points does 356 over 6 seconds. 3 points, 475 over 8 seconds. 4 points, 594 damage over 10 seconds. 5 points, 713 damage over 12 seconds. And then, of course, last but not least, Fan of Knives. Instantly throw both weapons at all targets within 8 yards, causing 105% weapon damage with daggers and 70% weapon damage with all other weapon types. So let's head out to the front of Stormwind, and we could actually we could see what the 3 of these new runes look like on the training dummies that they put out there for us. So let's head out there real quick. We'll take a nice little stroll. The training dummies are right outside the gates here. We have boss dummies, and we have a group of like AoE dummies. So we'll test that out. We'll start with a Fan of Knives, obviously. And then we'll try Crimson Tempest out, and then we'll try Blunderbuss out, just to see what they look like, see what kind of damage they're putting out. We'll turn the nameplates off for the dummies as well. Okay, so here we have a group of dummies. We could dismount. We have Deadly Brew on, so that's good. And we're gonna I guess let's just start meleeing this middle dummy right here. And we'll throw 2 Fan of Knives. 1, 2. Okay, so it looks like, yes, Fan of Knives is also applying Deadly Poison, which is really, really nice. This is going to be huge for tank rogues and really for DPS rogues as well. I have a feeling a lot of rogues are going to be farming Fell Striker to make this great. I mean, this is probably going to be pretty insane damage. So all of these dummies have Envenom on them now. So that looks pretty good. So let's back out. Let's get out of combat real quick. And we will check out Crimson Tempest. So Crimson Tempest is our finishing move that slashes all enemies within 8 yards. Basically an AoE, a close range AoE bleed that we could put on everything. So let's see what that looks like. It requires 35 energy, but it is a finishing move. So let's build up some combo points here real quick. We'll get to 5 combo points. Okay. Actually, we'll target the middle guy. Yeah, let's get 5 combo points. Okay, we have 5 combo points. We're about to cast it right now. Boom. There we go. We could... And so I'm assuming you don't want to spam cast it. I don't think it stacks, right? Let's see. I mean, that's pretty good bleed damage. Let's cast it again. Okay, so it doesn't stack. So you actually override the last slash, it looks like. So once you get your 5-point Crimson Tempest up, we would want to leave it like that. And it's ticking for, looks like 119, 120 damage, which is pretty nice. So let's back out and test out Blunderbuss. Okay, now we have Blunderbuss on. Fires a musket blast at up to 4 enemies in a cone in front of you for 1157 and 15 to 1546 physical damage. So this is not a finisher. It just costs 20 energy, right? So let's say we're right here and we want to cast Blunderbuss. What does that look like? Wow, that is a big That's a big frontal. It's on a 15-second cooldown, which kind of sucks, but I mean, that damage is pretty good. We'll hit it one more time before we start looking at the tier set bonuses. And Blunderbuss off cooldown, and we're going to hit it right now. Yeah, I mean, that's 2,600, 2,300, 2,400 crits right there. That's pretty big. Throw a Shuriken Toss in there. So Shuriken Toss basically hits for the same amount as a 5-point bleed from Crimson Tempest. We'll hit Blunderbuss one more time before we take a look at these runes. Yeah, so that's a pretty good frontal cleave that rogues now have. All right, so in front of us here, we have the rogue tier set bonuses. We have the damage set and the tanking set. We'll take a look at the tanking set first. So for our 2-piece, while just a Flesh Wound and Blade Dance are active, Fan of Knives costs 50% less energy and generates 100% increased threat. So it looks like you're going to be using Fan of Knives while tanking quite a bit there. For our 4-piece, we have Vanish now reduces all magic damage you take by 50% for its duration, but it no longer grants stealth or breaks movement impairing effects. So this is pretty interesting. This kind of turns Vanish into a 50% damage reduction ability towards magic damage. And then for our 6-piece, we have your finishing moves have a 20% chance per combo point to make you take 50% less physical damage from the next melee attack that hits you within 10 seconds. So making you quite tanky there as you're spamming your finishers. Moving on to the damaging set, for our 2-piece set bonus, Feint also grants avoidance for 6 seconds, reducing all damage taken from area effect attacks from non-players by 50%. That's a little weird. That's kind of a defensive 2-piece. I wonder if that's going to stay in after the PTR, but seems a little weird to have that on there. For our 4-piece, increase the critical strike damage bonus of your poisons by 100%. So that's pretty big. That's a really big DPS increase right there. And then for our 6-piece, of course, we have your finishing moves have a 5% chance per combo point. So 5 combo points would be a 25% chance to make your next ability cost no energy. Really nice there. These two, the 4 and the 6-piece set bonus, are going to be pretty big in terms of a raw like DPS increase. I think those are going to be pretty massive. So Rogue is looking pretty good. And I got to be honest with you guys, I did the test work with a bunch of groups with my Warrior. I did it with Rogue. Rogue felt really good. Warrior feels really kind of bad right now, and it's just because there's no world buffs, and obviously we need really good gear to kind of start scaling. But with world buffs and stuff, Warrior should be doing okay. But I gotta say, Rogue felt really good right off the rip here in the PTR. So if you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. We're covering everything Season of Discovery, especially Phase 4. This is going to be a lot of stuff coming out over the next few days from me. So, and if you want to hang out with me live, jump over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/hammerdance. I stream every weeknight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. There's a link in the description below. And if you guys want to join an awesome Discord community, we are just a bunch of geeks who love World of Warcraft Classic, especially Season of Discovery. We run a guild over on Lone Wolf Alliance, the US side. If you want to join that, we're started kind of like a sod fresh movement going on right now. So if you want to join the Discord or even join the guild, yeah, link is in the description below. We will welcome you with open arms. But anyways, guys, thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.